this out. Check this out.
Welcome one and all to another amazing night here in Tranquility.
We absolutely are in for a treat of a match here tonight, no question about it.
And the grenade from Pomku, eliminating everybody on the field.
Now I'm between something as well is going to be applied as Death Blossom, and it's going to be huge. Fighting 3.
The double kill with the Bastion ulti? Alright, I see you guys.
For B-Well, look to find a stick there, finds the stick, they find 2 with it!
Those who find the picks will save the fight, and they don't really need to save what they've already won.
And Cam with the 4-man punch off the map!
Experience tranquility.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Tranquility. My name's CBF here, and I'm joined by Majimeri, and we're here to bring you a match in the Transcendence Tier. Week 11, we have Classified, who are number 7, versus the Eternal Blue, who are number 8 right now. This is a elimination match, so this is a big match for both these teams if they want to stay in the tournament. So how are you doing, Majimeri? How are you feeling about this match?
I'm doing pretty good. Elimination matches are always some of the most intense matches. You see these teams kind of scrapping the bottom of the barrel, trying to pull anything out to win. So I'm interested to see what these two teams are going to do to stay in.
We already know our first map too. It is going to be Samoa. So we got a brand new map to play on. It's been out for a little bit, but I think teams may still be getting a little bit acquainted to it. It's a really nice map, and what do you think of it? I really like it so far, at least.
I just think the settings on this map are beautiful. Like the aesthetics of every single part of the map, oh, gorgeous. And I also think there are some of the maps that are fun to play. I'd say the lava map is my least favorite one, so hopefully we don't see that one at all. You know what? I want to see the other two pretty ones. I want to feast my eyes, that's it.
You know, playing Mauga on that lava one is pretty fun, though. You know, you just get them all trapped in the central point, and you light them up. Yeah.
If only we could play Maga here. If only.
If only. But they're gonna fix them up. Hopefully, fix some of the issues and some of the bugs. Specifically, some of the.
As a Kiriko player, Maga you just eat him up. Like you eat him alive. He's your breakfast. You're like 8k damage per game against a Maga. Poor guy.
It's just so much damage. He's an absolute ult battery. I mean, probably up there with Hog. Most definitely, because people just pump heals into him, and you know, hopefully they can fix some of the rollouts, I guess you could call them. If you've seen Get Quaked On's Twitter, you might have seen some of the using Mauga's ult to reach the skybox, like it was Genji Blade in 2017. So hopefully that gets fixed.
Hopefully, I don't know. I'd love to see it.
Oh, it's fun. It's absolutely fun. It's just, you know, I think some people have different definitions of fun. I think support players might have something to say about that. But, yeah.
So what are you expecting to see here? What do you think the comps these teams are going to be pulling out?
So we're in the Transcendence Tier, so we're in that sort of Masters to Grandmaster division. So we could see probably a lot of Sigma play. It's you know, it's a very common playstyle, very common composition, especially if you look at the World Cup with both teams running mirrors. And okay, so we're seeing a bit of Mei Genji from Classified with that Sigma and some Ball.
Eternal Blue may be pulling out some troll picks just to troll us casters. I'm taking it very personally here, but Classified having a more traditional team comp here. Okay, they swapped off the Genji. That was the only odd thing about it. With the Mei Sim maybe for TP, Sigma Lucio Bab. That's a very common comp right now. Eternal Blue rolling out on the Echo.
With it.
Oh, they're running with the ball. Okay, maybe a ball player, maybe a ball main here. We can't doubt him too soon.
I love seeing Ball play, especially because he really hasn't been meta in Overwatch 2 yet, or really for like maybe more than like a week. So if someone can make him work, I think it's a lot of fun. As both these teams are opting to go to this like left side area inside, and they're gonna try. It looks like Classified. They're gonna try and fight over that area.
Yeah, looking like Clock pulling out the first pick on Lost Sauce. That's going to be big for Classified here. Eternal Blue is already down one of their major DPS dealers, so it's going to be hard for them to recover. And another pick by Classified. Yeah, down 2 already. Classified's just able to take this point without much pressure at all. Wow, Eternal Blue just kind of floundering here, huh?
A lot of great picks from them. Especially, they just had that superior momentum, which has really helped them. I think Eternal Blue, they're just taking too long to set up.
Agreed. The value of ball for the Eternal Blue side is being able to kind of pester a backline, as well as keep them from capping point.
Big slam onto the backline.
Classified still has control. Oh, Eternal Blue pulls out the cap on the point. I mean, hey, don't doubt the ball before it's all happened.
It looks like Eternal Blue, they were able to flip the point. Water does have that pick onto the Baptiste, as you gotta watch Water. They are uncontested right now in this back portion. As Classified, they're trying to move over now. Bit of pressure on the point. Classified, they're trying to recap here. Oh, they're almost there. It looks like, though, Eternal Blue, they still have control over this high ground, and Classified, they're forced in this corner, but they do flip. Eternal Blue gets off the point.
It's like Classified just had some stronger rotations there, being able to kind of, even if it's not a conventional position, they were positioned together and able to kind of stave Eternal Blue off that point, kind of cap it back.
All the lines are in now. Gets rid of Clock and Nick. Wow. What a great minefield from Pow there to get 2 picks for Eternal Blue. Lilac is eliminated in the process, but yeah, Eternal Blue, they are still up 2 members right now. And they are looking very strong, like they are going to flip this point back now. Great slam onto the point. Does not convert, but both members on the point for Classified are pretty low, and they're probably going to get eliminated here. It's almost here. Oh, even more ultimates being popped as the Overclock and Kitsune Rush are popped from Eternal Blue to flip the point. And now that is finally going to force Classified back, with Classified now having 72% on the board.
That's not really a bad deal for Classified. They were able to kind of charge up their ults there. You see if they got the overclock the Sigil and the May ult, while Eternal Blue had to use ults to get them off the point. Now they traded some ults for some point charge, I suppose, and now they're going to be coming back in with more ults than Eternal Blue. That's a pretty good position for them to be in.
Classified have to be careful, though. They could get ambushed by this EMP from Lost Sauce, as they already are getting slowed. And oh, watch out for Pow here. Can they get anything in? No, it looks like it's too early of an engage. Lost Sauce was not there yet, so they are gonna, it looks like they're just waiting for Lost Sauce to get set up here with this EMP, as they are making their way around.
Pow doing a little bit of like coming in and messing them up just a little bit. Maybe get some ult charge here and even the playing field in terms of ultimate. Sigma pushed out of position there. They don't really capitalize on it though, unfortunately.
EMP's in. Oh, both teams are even, but Classified might have had the momentum first. The Eternal Blue have shifted it back with that virus kill from Nick, as you know, Sojourn is on the point right now with that overclock, but the Flux gets nothing from Halofied, as now they are going to try and clean up on the point. Oh, but it is all over. Look at that. Eternal Blue now have turned momentum a bit in their favor, but maybe not for long. We are now in overtime, 99% for Eternal Blue. Can they get any picks right now, as they are just trying to stall it out really and waiting for, you know, some sort of ultimate to get them started? But Classified, they do flip in the process, and that will probably force Eternal Blue to abandon the point.
I mean, I thought Classified had kind of the better momentum there, but with the whiffed Sigma ult, that kind of messed up their whole fight. However, they were able to kind of stabilize despite that, stay on point, and test that 99% and then cap it back. We're going to be seeing Eternal Blue coming in at a massive ult disadvantage. They're going to have, well, not massive. You know, I take it back. They're going to have 2 ults coming into this, but Classified has both their support ults.
And now Rally's popped overclock, and Kitsune Rush out for Eternal Blue. A lot of ultimate exchanges going on right here. Pow is hacked and is super low. They do live in the process, but Water is almost 1 HP and gets eliminated by Nick. Halophile gets rid of Lilac, and Eternal Blue, they're down 2 members, now 3. And Classified might have been able to turn it back now. And yes, they do. They clear everyone off the point, and it looks like Classified, they're going to take the first round.
Now, I'll say I'm pretty certain in saying that Classified comes out on top there because of the Sombra swap. That's the unfortunate part about playing a ball comp. Sombra is just the easiest counter pick to a ball. You can just chase him around, hack him, deny him any sort of value, and having that swap just allowed them to hack that ball at the most pivotal moments in these fights, where ball needs to be swinging around this point, needs to be contesting the backline, but he just couldn't because he's hacked. So I think coming in with that Sombra swap was a good idea. You know, it's the unfortunate reality that ball mains must face, that they are going to have to go up against a Sombra.
I think it's the de facto swap for anyone. I know in comp, when I used to run ball, I don't run ball anymore for obvious reasons. But, you know, I guess eventually some DPS player would get annoyed and they'd swap Sombra, and it would make my life a lot harder. So it is definitely a very big counter to this ball. And, you know, Eternal Blue, they need some sort of plan here if they want to deal with this and keep playing this ball comp.
Yeah, I would like to see Eternal Blue doing some dives with their ball. I think that's going to be the most effective way to go about this. However, with the Brig in the backline too, it's going to be really hard for, you know, Ball, Echo, or even Kiriko to get any value against their supports. So they're just going to have to go for the Sojourn. And that's really their only dive target. And wow, How is already down.
That's really crucial for Classified here to start pushing in, and Chisakina gets rid of Lost Sauce, so that's another pick for Classified, and now they're up 2 members, and Eternal Blue, they're forced to back up, and Classified, they're going to get the first cap.
Classified playing this very smartly, you know. They're not freaking out when Eternal Blue has control of this point. They're not losing their wits. They're staying calm, and they're playing against this comp properly and playing their Sigma comp properly.
Classified, they're stabilizing more towards around the point, letting Eternal Blue get control of that left side. But they're just opting to back up. They have a lot of space to work with here. We got to watch out for Clock with that window. It's going to be up soon, 10% now, as, you know, Pao is just kind of trading right now. Nothing really happening quite yet. Oh, there we go, though. Window out. Water gets rid of Chris Kringle. And that's a way to start the fight right there if you are Eternal Blue. As now Lilac is in pretty deep, trying to get some sort of pick, but they get super, super low. They are able to survive, but Opfreeze is now down. And that makes it even now for Eternal Blue. And Nick manages to turn it back around for Classified now with that virus kill onto Lost Sauce. And that's going to give Classified the momentum again, and they're able to turn it back in their favor.
Definitely some pivotal picks there from Classified. Both teams had picks, obviously we saw. But I feel like the picks by Classified were just more important. Taking down that Kiriko early means that there's no sustain for the rest of the team. Somebody like Water is just not going to be able to survive without a Kiriko.
Minefield out from Pao does not get much except rid of the Immortality Foot for Classified, which could prove to be really helpful here. And it looks like they're trying to get some sort of EMP going, but nothing quite yet. Water has this overclock though and is on the high ground. You gotta watch out, but Chisakina is able to trade and get rid of Water. Now both teams are even, and Chisakina has this overclock up right now. They do have to hide from that Echo, but Halophile gets the first kill onto Lilac. That's gonna start shifting the momentum here, but now Pao trades it again. Right now, I think it's in a 3v3, maybe a 4v4, but Lost Sauce gets another pick on the Chris Kringle. Looking even better for Eternal Blue, but the Flux is out now from Halophile. It does get rid of Lost Sauce, so that is now turning it back in the favor of Classified. Pao is super low too, forces them to back out. But you gotta watch out for the DPS here, especially Water on that Tracer. But it looks like Classified, they're able to get back here, and they might be able to close out the map here with Chisakina's overclock. As, yeah, everyone is down. Oh, Water is able to get back to the point, but a great rock from Halophile shuts that down. And Classified take the MOA 2-0.
Excellent fight by Classified there. You see that they have a lot of grit on this point. They are not willing to lose a fight, even if it's 99. You know, you have the opportunity to just lose that fight and come back, but they have determination to win it right then and there, and they use their ults properly and effectively to do so. They're aware that they have the Sigma ult. They know they have Window, so they use the Sigma ult to get a pick, a critical pick, and then boom, they come in with the Window last minute, and it's over for Eternal Blue. They can't do anything at that point.
Classified's comp just has a lot of room to give up space and just play that cooldown trade until it works in their favor, where I think Eternal Blue, they're trying to play a fast style, but it's just not working, where we're seeing Pao going in for these little engages, and Classified, they're just resisting it, because that's what their comp is built to do. They stick together, and eventually they just get a pick. So if you're Eternal Blue, you just got to set up as a team and really go. That's really the only way you win against this comp.
Yeah, for sure. I just think the ball comp is just not going to be effective against this Sigma comp. Who do you really dive here? You have the opportunity of a Sojourn, but she has a slide ability, and if you don't track that and if it's not out already, then you still have to deal with things like Immortality Field. You have to deal with Brig Packs. Unless you are doing the quickest, most concise, bursty dive known to man, you're just not really going to find anybody there. And the only other thing that you can do with that ball composition is disruption. And we didn't see Classified struggle with that at all. They kept their cool even when they've been booped out of position. They realize when they've been booped out of position how they have to adjust, and they played accordingly. I think Eternal Blue kind of just relies on people to panic. I think Classified deserved that win there for sure.
On the first round, we saw where Classified, they got forced into that little back room beside the point, and then they just backed out, regrouped, came back to the point, and they capped. So that's really the way they've been playing this, and absolutely what you've been saying. And their support line has been really good at shutting down anything. I mean, it's Bat Brig. It's not really a dive thing you can really dive into. It's going to make it really hard for Eternal Blue on this ball comp. I'm not sure what else they can pull out. I haven't seen them as a team before. But they might need to consider a tank swap, really, because I don't know necessarily if this ball comp is going to work into the Sigma composition that Classified are playing.
I 100% agree. I think you might just have to fold here. And like, I understand, I know some people who are hard ball mains, love the character, but in this sort of competitive play, he's just not very effective. Unless you are constantly in and out of these teams, contesting these points without dying, which is difficult to do against a BAP Sojourn, and especially against a Sigma who can rock you, then the ball just isn't viable. I'd like to see them maybe pull out the Sigma Mirror, or if they wanted to, they can still pull out something like the Rhine. Rhine is very viable right now still, even against the Sigma comp.
We do have a couple swaps here. Actually, it looks like one. So we're going to have Scooty in for Pow. That is the only swap we have for now. So that is going to be a swap in for Eternal Blue. So they are going to be swapping in a player. So we could see a comp difference that they're going to come out with here.
Yeah,
I don't know this.
Tank.
Yeah, that is their tank. So, all right. So we could see, a different tank composition come out here. And that might be the best decision for them, as you said.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're probably putting their Rhine in, or their Rhine Sigma player in. No diss to Pow at all. I'm sure he's a great ball, but ball is just difficult right now, and you're at an inherent disadvantage. I don't think that Eternal Blue played poorly at all. I think it was just a comp differential, and sometimes that's how it is, So I'd like to see maybe the Sigma Mirror coming out here, or a Reinhardt, or, you could, even if you're not a big Sig Rhine team, you can still pull out some quirky picks, I've seen people play the Ramatra, I've seen people play Junker Queen still. It's just, there's going to be more adaptation.
Both teams, they picked their composition now, and it looks like we're going to see much more of a mirror here. Both teams playing that Sigma composition. Eternal Blue opting for a Sim Bastion. And we're seeing from Classified, they're opting for a Bastion Junk right now. So we're seeing more of a Western style, if you're talking in the World Cup sense, where a lot of these teams are running the Bastion, where, if you look at some of the more Eastern teams, you're not really seeing them run the Bastion. Seems to be more of like a North American thing. But, it looks like Eternal Blue, they're going for the Genji here. They're going to go Genji Sim. So I'm wondering how that will play out. Oh, never mind. They're going to stick on the Bastion.
Right to the Bastion. Yes, this is a very Western style composition with the Bastion. I think a lot of other teams are starting to realize Bastion is getting phased out of the meta, but he's in no way unviable. You can still play the Bastion here.
Oh, wow, the quick TP, but Nick gets 2 picks on 2. Oh my goodness. Chisakina gets 3 picks off of Nick's 2, and that is a full team wipe for Classified. What a substantial fight from them.
They were just not expecting the Junkrat. I wouldn't expect the Junkrat, and as soon as you set that TP up, a couple Junkrat bombs, yeah, that Squishy's dead, and that's half your Squishy's HP gone. So big adaptation and quick response by Classified there, especially props to Nick for the unconventional pick.
Oh no. Oh, you gotta really watch out with this Junkrat. It reminds me of some horrible, horrible memories of those TPs and then just getting blown up immediately. It is not fun, but if you do it to another team, It is amazing. As Riptire out for Nick. Oh, it's right in there, and it gets rid of water. That's what they need. As Eternal Blue, they're split up now. So, oh, but Halophile. Oh, Nick gets another pick, and Halophile is able to clean up, so they are able to survive. And they will clean up those picks. And they're going to send Eternal Blue packing again, almost a minute and a half down.
Huge shout out to Clock there. Just massive shout out. Holophile got fully walled off twice in a row, all the way down to critical HP, but Clock was able to react to that very quickly and come and save their tank. So big props to Clock for thinking quickly and helping that tank out of that rough situation, because Lost Sauce has gotten these good walls off. We just need to see Eternal Blue following up on them.
Oh, the grenade combo catches out Lost Sauce, and Clock cleans up Scooty. And yeah, another really, really decisive fight from Eternal Blue, or Classified.
I think Eternal Blue has just got to, like, take their lumps here. There's a Junkrat on the enemy team that is an unconventional pick. You can respond with your own unconventional picks. You don't have to stick to this Bastion Mei comp if you are struggling this hard against a Junkrat.
Yeah, I don't think this composition is really going to work out for them, but you have to watch that artillery strike out. Okay, they are able to survive it, but now Eternal Blue, they're forced in this corner, but oh, the Blizzard's out. It's going to catch Halophile, and the lamp is not going to be enough to keep them up. So that is going to turn momentum back towards Eternal Blue, and that might be their first fight win of this map so far, as they are now pushing back the rest of Classified, and they are going to be able to cap the point.
Eternal Blue taking that fight like champs. Getting another fantastic wall on Halophile, not allowing him to back out of the Mei Blizzard, which I feel like that's something Classified is going to have to adapt to here. We've seen that Mei wall 3 times, and they're gonna have to start adapting to that. Mei wall is a very, very dangerous thing against a tank, and like I said, Eternal Blue is starting to figure out how to follow up on that.
Nick is setting up above. Oh, you gotta watch out.
Oh, no.
Nick is ready with that Riptire. Oh, but the grenade might just set up immediately. Oh, Scooty is down. What great positioning from Nick. Nick has been really good at playing those cheeky positions and catching Eternal Blue off guard. This Junkrat has been a real wild card for Eternal Blue.
Some standout Junkrat plays here. Junkrat has one of the most unique playstyles in this game, in that he really is an assassin. He is a spam character. That's how he's pretty much regarded. But the better Junkrats play him like an assassin. He has a one-shot combo, but he has to be relatively close range to do it. So playing in those little corners, being a little rat, you know, finding those picks, that's exactly how you want to see the Junkrat playing.
Eternal Blue, they've swapped Scooty over to the Diva. Interesting pick that we can probably dissect more later. But Scooty is able to eliminate Nick, so there you go. That pick did work for them now, as Scooty is able to eliminate the main threat that Eternal Blue have faced so far, as now Scooty and the rest of Eternal Blue, they're moving in to clean up these picks now, as really that main damage dealer is now down, and Halophile is going to be the only one to hold this point, and that seemed like the answer for Eternal Blue now, as Nick has swapped off the Junkrat over to the Mei.
Diva is a great pick here, especially against a Junkrat. Like we literally just saw, Diva can just fly into Junkrat's face and eat him, and just hold her defense matrix up. There's nothing that a Junkrat can really do besides try and escape. So Diva was a great pick to kind of deal with this problem character.
Flux and Blizzard out. It does catch out Lost Sauce, but you know, the Ice Block did protect them, as now Chisakina is gonna have this overclock ready. But Classified, they have to get on this point here. They are able to, but you gotta watch out. Artillery strike out. They are able to kite it out as Chris Kringle gets rid of Lilac. They are turning this back. Classified will probably hold this here if they can keep up this momentum as they do. They get rid of Op Freeze, and Scooty is backing up now.
It was a great retake by Classified there. Eternal Blue used 2 ultimates there, and that is just kind of unfortunate for them to lose that fight. However, Classified did also use 2 ultimates. I'll have to say, Chisakina came in with a great off angle, found that pick off of the Flux, and they were able to capitalize on it from there. A great retake, again, showing how Classified can kind of keep their heads level in these stressful retake situations.
Oh, self-destruct out. They are able to kite it, but no more immortality field for Classified, which they might need coming into this fight. Overclock out now from Chisakina. Is it able to get anyone? It does. So they do eliminate Op Freeze, and Lost Sauce is down to Nick. So that is 2 picks up for Classified. Now 3, and that's most of your team down. And Eternal Blue, they're going to be forced to back up, but Emergency Stall tries to get on, but that might just set Eternal Blue back, and I don't think they're going to be able to touch here.
I think the Sombra might be able to come in, but no, they've caught her out with that Blizzard. Excellent hold by Classified. Chisakina almost let me down there in the Sojourn 1v1. You almost had me worried, Chisakina, but you came through in the end, so I forgive you. Classified, I think they kind of just were able to capitalize on the Junkrat pick for a little too long. You know, at some point, yes, Eternal Blue did swap, but then Classified took that as an immediate sign that they should swap as well. It seems like Classified is just much more willing to make these swaps sooner in order to win.
They're adapting a lot quicker, and as we saw, you know, Eternal Blue won 1 fight, and then Classified, they came back and they took it back. So they're very aware at making these decisions, and, you know, that's probably why they won Samoa, because, you know, they recognize that the ball might be an issue, and they swapped to Sombra, and they were able to deal with it. And Eternal Blue, they did not respond quick enough, especially since they honestly just could not play any other hero because they didn't have their right tank player in.
Yeah, which is just unfortunate for Eternal Blue there. They might just be expecting a surprise, like the surprise factor of having a ball, but it just didn't work out. Classified is just not the team to try that on, you know? So here we're going to be seeing pretty much a mirror on these teams. However, Eternal Blue is rolling out on the Iliari on defense. Now, I'm not quite sure how I feel about that choice, but we'll have to see how Lilac does. It's all about, for me, it's all about the mechanics on Iliari. If you are mechanically sound on Iliari, then she has a lot more value than if not.
She has a lot of damage potential, so if you can really utilize that, and her pylon, she can have a ton of impact on the field. As Classified, they're going for a pretty similar rotation that we saw from Eternal Blue. Wall is out, but it is not able to get the value that we saw from the last round. Is now, you know, Classified, they are moving in, and they still have all 5 members. And, oh, look at that. Looks like Lost Sauce gets caught out. Does not get eliminated, though. There's a lot of cooldowns coming out right now. As Eternal Blue, they are slowly backing up, so Classified, they're gaining a little bit of distance, and Lost Sauce somehow has not been forced out yet, and they are able to eliminate Halophile. That is a huge pick for Eternal Blue, and that's just going to allow them to start, you know, snowballing that momentum and force Classified out.
Like you were saying, Lost Sauce was just getting way too much value around that bus, and they weren't really dealing with them. Weren't really forcing them out at all. We saw Halophile got walled first, but they were kind of prepared for that, broke that wall, and then from there it just became a matter of taking space and giving up space. Eternal Blue knew when they had to give up a corner, and they did so, and then they put their Mayhem in a position where she could get value. So that was how Eternal Blue came out on top on that fight.
Classified, they have Blizzard, but oh, Lost Sauce is ready. But oh, Classified, they faked their rotation. But I don't think it's any match for the Blizzard of Lost Sauce. Able to get rid of Chisakina, and now Halophile is isolated as well. So they're going to clean up that fight. Only having to use, you know, 1 ultimate for them, which is a really good trade. They're still going to have 4 ultimates for this next fight.
Yeah, we might be seeing a bit of an ult stacking fight here, but I will say, Classified, that was a pretty good plan, but I think they weren't quite expecting the May ult to come out as fast as it really did. So now we're gonna have to see if they're gonna come in with a dry fight. Hopefully they come in with a dry fight, get these ults out. The Flux and the Beat comes out.
It gets canceled. The Flux got canceled. That was absolutely massive. As now we have the Captive Sun out, but Clock is able to eliminate Lilac, and they are getting no value out of that Captive Sun. Classified are all over the kill feed now, and they're on the point. So it is now up to Eternal Blue to get any sort of contest now. Water is down, so the only member left is Lost Sauce, and yeah, they're going to get eliminated. So Classified, they're going to cap this, and we'll see how much time bank they have on the board. They're going to have 345, so a pretty good time bank, and they don't even have to get to the second checkpoint.
Extremely unfortunate that Scooties Flux got canceled there. That just really sucks for the Eternal Blue. That fight was really, really bad for them. They used almost all of their ultimates, and they lost. Classified also used some ultimates, but they're going to be coming up on the same amount.
Oh, the artillery strike gets right in them, and geez, Akina gets rid of Op Freeze. And Classified, they just want to fight. I don't even think without even like having to take a head-on-head. I think it was just one member of Eternal Blue got caught out with that wall, and then the artillery strike just cleaned it up for them.
That was an excellent artillery strike team fight there. You could tell that there was a lot of planning and thought behind that one. You know, it wasn't just throwing that Bastion ult out, which is what you see a lot of teams doing. They forced them into the place where they would have to stand in that artillery strike. That's the difference between some of these better teams and lower skill teams.
Lost Sauce has this Blizzard. It doesn't get canceled, so that will get a bit of value. And that's going to get rid of Halo File. That's exactly what Eternal Blue needs to stop this snowball from Classified now. And they are forced back. So that was a really quick fight, only having to use that one ultimate.
Yeah, Eternal Blue making great use of that Mail. If you can just catch the tank there, like we just saw, it's a fight win. So very, very good use of the Mail. Unfortunately, they're going to be down ults for this next fight, but so is Classified. Classified will have that Meg ult up for this next fight. Hopefully, Eternal Blue can build up their Illari ult and their Sigma ult here.
Nick has this Blizzard. You have to watch out if you're Eternal Blue, especially if you get walled off. Oh, it's huge. It catches out 2 members. Oh, and they're going to clean them up. That is huge. Chris Kringle getting both members who got frozen by the Blizzard now, and Halo File is just going to clean up the back line of Eternal Blue. And Classified, they're going to take this second map. I don't think Eternal Blue are going to be able to touch here, as they are not. And Classified, they're going to win Midtown and go up 2-0 in this series on match point. And Eternal Blue, they're in threat of being eliminated from the tournament.
Classified just playing it fantastically there. That's exactly what you want to see from a Mail. Throwing in that wall first, not allowing this team to escape, and unfortunately, it seemed like Eternal Blue just wasn't ready for it. Even if they had ult tracked that, you should see this Mei walking forward, being aggressive, and understand that Mei ult is coming out here. Unfortunately, they just didn't recognize it soon enough, and as they tried to back out, there's a Mei wall right behind them. It's a horrifying situation to be in, to be honest. I've been there many times myself, and it's not fun.
This map looked, I think, a bit closer, though. I think both these teams, they made adaptations, and they really used the Mei really well. Both these Meis had a ton of value when we saw with Lost Sauce, and then we saw with Classified using their walls to just isolate, actually, Lost Sauce. And that's what allowed them to get most of that distance that they weren't able to cap there. You know, Eternal Blue, they were able to turn it back in that one fight, but both these teams, they had really good use of the Meis, and I think they were really the big difference on that map.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. Mei players are very, very vital in this meta right now. Not only for, like the traditional kind of Western thought about the Mei is that we put up the wall behind the tank, we shred the tank, It's a great strategy if it works. But we can also see Mei play being taken to another level when Mei makes zoning decisions with her wall. For example, if Baptiste throws out a window and they try and go around a corner, you can wall that corner, and now that suddenly they have to stand in front of that window. It's a lot about intelligent plays on Mei, and I think both of these Meis did well. I do just think that Classified's Mei was better, and they were kind of faster, more decisive with these sorts of like the Mei ults and stuff. And nothing against Lost Sauce. You did a great job, Lost Sauce. You were a standout player. But I think there is a difference between this super, super smart, high-level Mei play that we've been seeing today.
Now we are going to head to a 5-minute break, so we're going to give both these times a bit of time just to, regroup, and maybe Eternal Blue, they were able to think of something and try and do better in the second half of the series to avoid elimination from Tranquility Season 11, so we'll be right back. Eternal Blue, they are on the verge of elimination here as we are now in the second half of this series. Classified, they're up 2-0 right now against them. And, you know, we'll see. They've had a 5-minute break now, so they've had some time now to make some adjustments. And we'll see how they're going to look in the second half of this series.
Yeah, we need to see Eternal Blue getting their head in the game here. One game and they're done. So I want to see them pull out maybe some different tactics here. We saw Classified come out on the Junkrat. Obviously, Nick was a strong Junkrat player, and in these tournament settings, sometimes that's just what you have to do. So if we have some Eternal Blue players who have some unconventional picks that they might have to pull out, then pull them out. Now's the time, Eternal Blue. You have to pull this out and win.
we saw what the Junkrat from Nick did to Eternal Blue. It was just an utter disaster until they had that one fight going for them. And I'm curious to see what swaps they're going to make in terms of heroes or players. They've had some time now, and I think we could definitely see them come back here. This isn't a one-sided series.
Well, we see actually a sub coming in, Colossus for Scooty, and that's the Eternal Blue's tank. Once again, not back to the ball main, but another tank for Eternal Blue. It's not something you see very often. Two tank subs, but
3 tank players.
I mean, that's rare these days, so good for you, Eternal Blue. Let's see how that changes things up. Maybe Colossus is like, okay, to me it sounds like a Reinhardt player. Like, we might be seeing a Rein one trick coming in, but I'm jumping to conclusions.
I'll take it.
Could be, I don't know, could be a Junker Queen. Junker Queen main or something. We'll see. But I'm assuming that Eternal Blue probably not going to be picking any sort of like Sigma map. Well, it's Suravasa, so maybe they're putting in Colossal to play the rush comp. That might be what they're ending up doing here.
I think what could be a disadvantage for Eternal Blue is they're swapping out tanks so often. Do they have the synergy with the team that Classified might have? They have not swapped their tank this entire series, so they might just have one tank player. I haven't actually looked at the rosters, but you know, swapping tank players, you know, tank is such a crucial role in Overwatch 2. You know, I think it could maybe even affect the synergy of Eternal Blue.
Oh, for sure. Like, tank players are oftentimes one of the major shot callers and the ones that lead all these kinds of fight plans. Going in first, making these split-second decisions, that's usually the tank player's job. So you're right, there could be some mixed synergy here, but who knows? Maybe Colossus is more, or fits better in this team. We'll have to see.
Halophile is actually a flex player for Classified. They do have one other tank player, but you know, a little bit of a smaller tank roster than Eternal Blue. As Classified, they're sticking to this very standard composition they've been running this entire series, and that has worked out so well for them.
Yeah, seeing Eternal Blue pull out the Doomfist here is a bit of an odd choice, but we also saw it in the World Cup. So obviously not a non-meta pick, but definitely a more one. Wow. OP Freeze pulling out the 2-tap.
What a great pick to start the fight, but Chisakina responds, getting rid of Lost Sauce, so we're back to even now. Classified, they're trying to enter the point, and they now are getting some success now as Chisakina gets rid of another person, but Water responds. So Classified, they are getting set up on the point, but you gotta watch out for Colossus here on the Doomfist, and Nick gets eliminated from the combined efforts of the two players, and now this might be a chance for Eternal Blue to flip this, as they do now with Lost Sauce getting rid of Halophile. And that's going to be the rest of it, Classified falling.
Huge props to Eternal Blue there. With the Doomfist comp, you can actually see a fair bit of sustain. Doomfist is able to retreat and go back onto these points, sort of like Ball, but with a little bit more punch, haha, pun intended. So we see Eternal Blue kind of taking advantage of that Doomfist comp, and okay, they've got a pick on us. That's okay. We can keep playing, and we can keep doing our thing, and we can take this point, and they did.
The Doom comp is a lot more suited to play against Classified, where they can more so take their time. And wow, though, Colossus gets melted by the turret form. You know, you can't really do much about that unless you have an escape tool.
No, just as we're singing Eternal Blue's Doom praises, he gets shredded by a Bastion, and that is the danger of playing the Doomfist. He's a bit of a squishy. Even though he looks big and buff, he is kind of weak in terms of going up against a Bastion. He's no Reinhardt, no Ram.
You know, he's got a giant gauntlet, but he can't level a skyscraper, and he can't sustain a Bastion turret. So, not really the poster child that he was made out to be. As now, Lost Sauce has this EMP ready, and Lilac gets rid of Clock. So that's some great picks out to start, but Water has this blade. It does end, so does not get any more members now. As, you know, this is kind of devolving into a bit of a split fight now, as Colossus does get rid of Halophile, and Lost Sauce is going to fully capitalize on that, and Eternal Blue, they're going to flip the point.
Like you said, it became a bit of a split fight there, and between these two comps, I'd rather be Eternal Blue if it was a split fight. They're able to kind of traverse this map and go on whoever they want. Also, we see Eternal Blue just coming in with more ultimates there, even though they only used one. Classified's going to be coming back with 3 ultimates to their name, but Eternal Blue with those 4 high-value ultimates, it's going to be difficult to beat. Lilac falling immediately, though. This could be bad.
Water does get rid of Nick, so it is back to even, but TeeHaychZee was alone on the point, tried to get that touch, but no one is there. So Eternal Blue, they're going to cap this point. But now this could be anyone's game of who is going to have that, you know, positioning advantage. And it looks like they do opt to get a couple kills, but Eternal Blue, they are going to rotate to the point first. However, no, it is even. So it looks like Classified, they're going to have to wait.
If I were Classified there, now I would be mad that we weren't able to touch the point, but I wouldn't be too mad about our ult usage there. However, TeeHaychZee has swapped now. That's rid them of an ultimate that they had, and now Eternal Blue still has the ult advantage over them for this fight.
Lost Sauce has this EMP ready to go. They're just waiting for Classified to start moving in here. And the Flashpoint has unlocked EMP out from Nick first, actually. But there is the response EMP from Lost Sauce. One was cleansed. It looks like maybe the one from Eternal Blue was cleansed. I'm not exactly sure as Colossus. Oh, they get super low. Halophile is in a lot of danger right now as Water gets rid of Nick. They are moving in full force now to clean up this fight. Water has his blade. It looks like the rally is out from Chris Kringle, but it's not going to be enough as now Water and the rest of Eternal Blue, they're going to force the members of Classified back as they approach 40%.
Right there is, we see that ult advantage. Both teams used all of their ults that were available to them, but Eternal Blue had one more. Simple, one more ultimate, you pretty much win that fight. Eternal Blue playing intelligently here, using their ults smartly. We saw Lost Sauce coming in with the ult, regardless of the Classified EMP coming out first. You know, EMP does not mean a fight loss, and Eternal Blue recognized that and came back in with their own EMP. Then used the rest of their ults kind of in a one-by-one manner that allowed them to win that fight.
TeeHaychZee has his pulse bomb ready. We gotta watch out for it. It's really the only ultimate on the board, but they get hacked by Lost Sauce as now Classified, they're trying to go through this, high ground portion, try and get down to the point, but that is not what you want to see. If you're Classified, you are demeched, and Eternal Blue, wait, the kills are turning towards Classified though, as they've been able to get a group effort on the point, and that's going to allow them to flip, but now they have to deal with the fact that Eternal Blue has 99% on the board, and they just have to win one fight.
Yeah, that was really looking to be going to the side of Eternal Blue, but Classified was able to kind of calm down and play it back. The slight advantage Classified has right now is that D.Va pick. Eternal Blue unfortunately lost Colossus very early in that fight. Being down a tank, naturally, bad for your team.
Yeah.
Having your D.Va still up and have more HP than a Doomfist, or at least a little less easy to kill, just gave them an edge and able to sustain in that fight a little longer.
Offreeze has this Kitsune rush ready. It is out now on the point. And Colossus goes super deep. They go for an engage, and it does convert. Water does get rid of Nick. And now it looks like Classified, they are split up. They're being isolated by the dive of Eternal Blue. And look, the Kiriko has been completely isolated now. And Classified, they have been chopped up. And they do clean up Lost Sauce getting that pick on the TeeHaychZee and Chris Kringle. And yeah, they are able to flip it back, and it looks like they are going to be able to get 2 now, and they only need to win 1 more Flashpoint.
Big props to Colossus there in understanding the win conditions of a Doomfist. You saw him get very low HP trying to take out this Kiriko. Using that ultimate, a lot of Doomfists at low HP would just leave with their ultimate. That's a very conventional Doomfist strat, but he understood that if I land on this Kiriko and punch her, they're down a Kiriko and we win this fight. He took that risk, he did it, and they won the fight as a result.
Lilac gets super low and is picked by Halophile. They completely capitalize on it. What a great
Poor
recognition
Lilac.
from poor Lilac, of course. Thought they were going to get away, but, never did. And Halophile and the rest of Classified, they just completely force Eternal Blue back, and they're going to get first cap.
Yeah, it looks like the fights that Classified has won have been ones where they're able to take down either Lilac or Colossus in the beginning. And having the Sombra really does allow them to do that so long as they're playing coordinated enough with
there's
their
EMP.
There's the EMP.
Wow. Gets 2 members there, and Classified now with these two fights, they have looked really, really good. I don't know exactly what has happened, but they are looking way better than they were on that last point. They're looking very coordinated and grouped together, which might turn out to be really problematic for Eternal Blue.
Looks like what's happening is Classified is starting to snowball and go first. Once you know you have an advantage, that's when you have to keep pushing. You don't just stay stable and be content in your advantage, you push your advantage. And that's what Classified has been doing, kind of rotating out these ultimates, using them at the proper moments to win fights, and Water finds Nick there, pulling out the blade right after.
Oh, the bomb though. Gets rid of Water, but Eternal Blue, they still had the picks to go, and they are going to be able to, it looks like convert it. It looks like Chisakina is the only member left for Classified. They are going to be able to get a touch, but yeah, they're forced back. So Eternal Blue, they are able to flip it back, but Classified now having 95% on the board. They have a lot of room to work with.
Not a bad hold by Classified at all. Eternal Blue just kind of came in with that Genji ult that got a little bit more value than I think Classified would have wanted. I'm not quite sure what happened to the beat, if it didn't save the poor victims of Blade, but that's just what Eternal Blue needed to win that fight.
Beat out from Eternal Blue. Chisakina has his pulse bomb ready. We gotta watch it as Off Freeze gets rid of Clock, so that is the pick they need, as now they have over 52%. Lilac gets rid of Nick, and that's another pick that Eternal Blue needs. They are snowballing this back now, as they are at almost 70% now, and they only need to win one more fight.
Lilac getting their revenge there. They said, I've been picked far too many times. It's my turn. Now Eternal Blue is able to kind of just stabilize off a very vital pick. And they have two important ultimates. EMP is a big one. If they can get this EMP right. The EMP combined with the Doom Slam. Doesn't really find anybody though.
Yeah. Did not get anybody, but
they can't touch! But Classified cannot touch that point, and Eternal Blue takes map 3. Wow, Classified just not able to make it in time. Now that is some smart play by Eternal Blue that I've been wanting to see. Pushing up at that choke and not even letting Classified push. We're out here criticizing them like, oh, that EMP dual pistol did nothing, but they stopped him from getting to the point.
You know, it might have been a 500 IQ play, just completely distracted Classified. I think I was a bit confused as I did see Classified on the point. I was a bit confused what happened. I'm guessing they just weren't able to get there in time. So, unfortunately for them, but Eternal Blue, they have a lifeline now. They are 2-1 in this series, but they are going to have to win 2 maps in a row if they want to stay in the bracket.
Yep, so obviously Suravasa is a very different map from the maps that we've seen so far. Flashpoint is very beneficial to this sort of fast-paced play that Eternal Blue seems to enjoy, starting out on that ball comp, subbing in a Doomfist player. So we're just going to have to hope that they can do the same on a push map, which it could really be difficult, especially considering Classified might just pick a map that totally blocks that.
Yeah, it's up to Classified now for a map pick on push, and they've been running this Sigma side. It's Coliseum. Okay, so they have picked basically the best map they could for long range play styles where it's just not going to work for Eternal Blue. They can try and fight a head-on-head, but I think Classified, if they do what they have been this series of hiding whatever Eternal Blue's aggressive engagements, try and throw at them and just win the cooldown exchange, that's what's going to give them a really good chance, and they might be able to win the series.
Yeah, it's no surprise that Classified is pulling out the Coliseum here. Sigma is very, very strong on this map, able to kind of just stand up on that bridge and spam down, especially if you have a skilled hit scam player. Sometimes it just feels hopeless for any other team. But if Eternal Blue is able to take their fights, make their kill boxes, that is not an unwinnable map. It really is not. They just have to not play into the Sigma. And that can be really difficult because Sigma has a long line of sight. You know, how am I supposed to not play anywhere on the map? No, you just have to take your fights. That's how push works. You take your fights when you need to take them or want to take them. And that's the only way Eternal Blue is going to come out on top. Because as we've seen, Classified just has a better Sigma comp, unfortunately, for Eternal Blue.
I did talk about, you know, the head-on-head that you can see usually, you know, when the first, you know, when the bot unlocks. But I think if Classified, if they don't run a Lucio, they could be in trouble here, at least on the first point, where if Eternal Blue decide to run a Ryan or a Ramatra, that they could just send their core straight at Classified and they won't know what hit them.
Yeah, we might have to see Eternal Blue. Maybe they have a sim player they can put in here, because one of the kind of more blunt force solutions to a Sigma comp is to just TP onto them or TP into a better spot to deal with them. That's just a way to brute force through this Sigma comp, and you could use a Reinhardt with that. Some Sigma comps really struggle once a Reinhardt comes in close range with them.
Could definitely be, as we do have a little bit of time before heroes are selected, but thinking more about Colosseo, do we think we could see Classify running ranged, more hit scan characters, or do we think they're going to stick to more of the Mei style Genji that we have seen? And we do have a pause as we have a disconnect.
A DC. Oh no. What happened to my beloved Classified? Well, I do think that we will see hit scans here. Hit scans are just incredibly strong on Colosseo. If you've ever played against a Sojourn soldier sitting on the ridge, you know how hopeless it feels. You're like, well, I'm just taking damage all the time. They're very, very strong on this map. And having that, like you were talking about, when bot first unlocks, that long sight line where you're just playing right there, hit scans are very, very good right there. Especially if those hit scans are able to take proper positioning to rain down on squishies.
If you aren't running that sort of style or you're playing into it, I think you do have options on this map, though. I know I played Brawl composition on this map a while. It really comes down to, pacing and, making your rotations quick and making them fast and, knowing where to set up. Because if you get caught out in the open, you're dead. It's just that simple. If you're running into a sniper, you just have to be really good at your positioning, really, if you want to succeed playing that kind of composition.
Yeah, and the scary thing about it is that we know that Classified has a Mei player, and there are times where Mei can just wall off where you need to hide. And you're just like, okay, well now I'm faced directly with this Sigma and this hit scan, and I'm in the worst position possible. So that's a possibility on what could happen there. Of course, we're playing around, we're theory crafting right now. We don't even know what they're gonna play. But considering they have Colossus in there still, they might just be playing the Doom again. I mean, they won on the Doom, even though it was a rush style comp, or a rush style map. They might just pull the Doom out again because that's the only thing they can think to do. They lost with the Sigma comp, they lost against the Ball comp, so let's just try something else,
It's a good idea, honestly. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. Or if it ain't broke, don't fix it, is what more people say. As that was a bit weird to say. I never said that before.
You said it like British.
I've never said it that way before. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. Okay, so Classified, they're going for definitely, I think, what we expected. But Eternal Blue?
Yeah, that's a comp. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. There it is. There's the normal comp. All right. Well, we know Water is very strong on this Genji. Made some excellent plays last match. So rolling out on this Doomfist comp, it's not exactly unexpected. And hopefully they're just able to kind of like shove this Sigma into a corner. Don't let them get so much value.
If you've ever played a Ball comp on this map, it's a very similar play style of you really got to control that left side and just get an opportunity to go around and dive as a team. But Classified, they have that more standard composition in the middle, and they might be able to respond really well to whatever Eternal Blue throws at them, as Colossus is forced to back out completely from that rot from Halophile.
Yeah, lots of resources used there by Classified, though. Using their Mei wall that early, using their rock that early. Those are some big things to shut down that Doomfist that might allow them to re-engage. Of course, these cooldowns are going to be coming back up, but that's going to be the win con for Eternal Blue.
Oh, Colossus misses and is cleaned up by Classified. And that is really, I think, the main problem they're going to have this entire series. Chris Kringle gets rid of Water of Classified. They are just such a good unit, and they're just going to stay on the point, and they're going to keep moving that bot. In Eternal Blue, it's just a ticking time clock and just a distance clock, really. They just, eventually, they're going to have to get on the point.
That's the problem. Classified has so many things to shut down Eternal Blue right now. They really could, and again, they're doing it again. Colossus just cannot live here. They have the Mei wall, they have the Sigma rock, and they have a BAP and Sojourn constantly spamming damage into this sort of squishy hero. The rock just hits him
Oh,
again.
another one on the block. Just Halophile is just saving these rocks for that power block, and it's just okay, almost. Lost Sauce got close there as now. Oh, Lilac gets cleaned up by Nick. Well, it looks like Clock did get caught out by water there, so a good response from Eternal Blue, recognizing that mistake now. But they almost have the first cap. The beat is out from Classified now, but look at Colossus. Colossus is super low now. And they are able to contest right now from above the bridge, really, but it looks like Water is the only one on the point, but Classified, they're split up now. This could be really problematic for them as Halophile is on the point now, and they do have the Flux ready. It may come out here, but the rock is used and does not get anybody now, as they are going to back up.
This fight would have been lost without the off-freeze Suzu. Suzu has saved Colossus multiple times, and that's the only reason they've been able to sustain this fight. Water also finding Clock there. That is huge for Eternal Blue getting some progress on this spot.
Once they got under the bridge, it just stalled out. You know, once it's under there, Eternal Blue, you know, you can contest from the high ground, you can drop down. They have such a mobile composition that they might just be able to contest the cart from whatever location they'd like. But, you know, as they're attacking now, this could be a lot harder.
Yeah, Doomfist, he can just kind of tuck himself into those little crevices and hide under the bridge, not having to face that Sigma up close at all in those situations. But now they're going to have to deal with Classified up on this bridge.
Tries to get the virus kill. Lost Sauce has this EMP ready, but look at Colossus, super low. Chisakina pops the overclock, and they're just gonna fully focus Colossus down. They are popping really a lot of their ultimates here. Lost Sauce is cleaned up, and Chisakina as well. So they invest 2 ultimates there. It is totally worth it, as look at that. Chisakina, Clock, and Halophile clean up, getting a team kill in the process, and now they're gonna be getting close to that checkpoint.
Chisakina, my goat. Chisakina just landing those what are they
Right
called?
clicks?
Right clicks. Just landing those right clicks one after the other. Eternal Blue kind of just scrambling, and Classified has also made these swaps to their compositions to
EMP.
just fully counter.
Look at how much damage that EMP just did. Almost just completely wiped out Classified. But now it took a little bit, but yeah, now it's kill feed. It's all red, but oh no. Oh, it's so close. They almost got that forward spawn. That would have been a huge advantage for Classified to get a hold of that forward spawn, but just barely not able to get it.
That would have been an excellent forward spawn for Classified, but unfortunately Eternal Blue does turn back on them. Eternal Blue kind of coping with this composition switch from Classified pretty well. I am thinking it might just be a little bit of a Water carry right now. Not calling it too soon, but Water has been making these very vital plays at the beginning of fights to get a pick and give Eternal Blue kind of an even playing field against Classified.
They have the Kitsune rush out, but that window is just going to prevent them from moving in at all. It's just such a threat now as, you know, Halophile on the front line is pushing them back, but Classified, they have dropped off the high ground and they are moving in now with the rally. Beat popped in response, but Water is down at 95% to Blade. Just a really crucial ultimate there for Eternal Blue that they don't have now as Chisakina gets rid of Op Freeze as well as Lilac and Colossus. Those are 3 picks that are essential and they're really going to need now, and they do get them, and that's going to help them, you know, maybe get that forward spawn finally.
Like you said, the worst time to lose Water right there. They really could have used that Blade alongside their beat, and that might have actually won them that fight, but unfortunately it's just not going to happen.
EMP.
Nick is going to sneak up with this EMP, and there it is! Catches 4!
Suzu. Oh, they might be able to get this back cap though. Maybe not. It looks like they weren't able to either group up or focus a target down, but the Flux is out now. It does catch Lost Sauce. Look at Eternal Blue. They are super low right now. This could be disaster, especially unless Colossus can turn it around, but we've seen Colossus now just doing an amazing job of stalling the point. Eternal Blue, they do have other members here now, and Lost Sauce gets back, able to turn it up as they get healed up, and that was perfect from them. Able to turn it again, and just Eternal Blue proving just a unstoppable like defense. They just are not able to be, you know, they're not able to just get a cap at all.
Nick coming in with that EMP. It caught 4, but unfortunately the Suzu comes in and saves a lot of those people, and it just seemed like there was no follow-up for that EMP. So when Eternal Blue comes back with their EMP, and it's 10 times more effective, it's just unfortunate for Classified there. Chizukina, no! You're down, Chizukina, now. As the blade comes out from water.
Oh no. Clock is trapped in this room too. Eternal Blue, they're just looking like they're getting closer and closer and closer to finally taking the lead over Classified, as they have just had, you know, it just has looked all in Eternal Blue's favor, as just Classified, they're not able to get any more distance, as, oh, this fight is going back and forth though. Look at the bot. It's now almost towards the middle. Eternal Blue, they do have the picks though. It looks like Classified, they're just getting split up in the process, and yep, Lost and the last of Eternal Blue are able to clean up Classified, and this is just getting closer to them taking the lead.
What can I say besides support diff? And I said it. Well, we saw Clock pretty much being immortal there, trading out for Colossus. I mean, that's a big trade for Classified, but they aren't able to follow up on it because Off-Freeze comes in. Oh, Chizukina finding Colossus there, who just got back, literally just got back to his team.
Water gets rid of Clock. So I think it's now back to even, but Water resets. So yeah, they're done with the fight. We're just gonna take another fight, and I think honestly, if you're Eternal Blue, they might even think that they have the advantage here, even though they have less distance. It's just they might get rid of Lost Sauce here if they're not able to get out.
Be careful, Lost Sauce.
Oh no, the translocator.
Going for the mega? No, Lost Sauce just should not have gone for that mega. They should have just translocated out of there, but unfortunately now Eternal Blue's just gonna get staggered once again, down another player.
Now, that might not be the worst case scenario for Eternal Blue, as Lost Sauce has really made this difference when the bot has actually been on the barricade, which most of the time it is not, but Eternal Blue get hit with an EMP from Nick. That's 4 members, but again, Classified do not follow up on it at all. Just another waste of an ult, as, oh, Chris Kringle is able to get rid of Lost Sauce, and the EMP just gets absolutely nothing. And finally, it looks like Classified, they're going to get that forward spawn, and they're going to press forward for the first time in probably 5 minutes.
This seems like Eternal Blue is kind of staggering themselves out here. We saw that Lost Sauce got picked, then Lilac kind of overpeaked, bounced off a wall and died, and then Lost Sauce died again after the EMP with nobody there to follow up on it. Eternal Blue just had a really rough series of events just then that allowed Classified to push up and move in and get this space on the bot.
Classified, they are actually nearing the end of the map now. Water has the Dragon Blade out, gets rid of the Immortality Field. But wow, look at the trade. Both 2 supports down, 1 on each side, as it looks like Chizukina oh no, the slide did not make it, but what? Wow.
Chizukina comes out on top there. That was a bit of a DPS step, and I'm a big water advocate,
Colossus. Oh, it might be over here.
Oh, Lost Sauce able to make it to that point just on time. Eternal Blue has to come out on top here. Halophile's gonna get out and regroup for this next fight, as well as Chizukina coming out from short spawn. They're gonna be able to take this at the middle of the point, while Eternal Blue is still down some players. They just can't stop the bot.
Eternal Blue, they have more ultimates to work with, but if Classified can force them to use it right now, as they are, Halophile gets stunned, but nothing quite yet. Meteor Strike, they're forced into a central area, and that's what happens when you get hit with a Meteor Strike. 2 picks from Colossus now, converts into 3 eliminations now, and Eternal Blue, they are able to get control of the bot, but they still have to go another, it looks like 50 meters if they want to win this map.
I know there are Lilac doubters and haters out there. I feel their presence, but Lilac just had one of the most massive boops I've ever seen, booping people into that Doomfist ult. That got Colossus a kill on an ult that usually doesn't get any kills at all, and allowing them to win that fight and push up. Unfortunately, Eternal Blue's gonna be kind of at a loss here on ultimates. Both teams are gonna be coming up on their EMPs, and it's just gonna be a matter of who has the better EMP here.
It really comes down to these Sombras, as you said now. Lost Sauce is still getting set, but Nick is down! Somehow before the fight started, Nick is down, and that gives Eternal Blue the massive advantage they need, and the EMP is now out! Oh, that pulse bomb, you gotta watch it. Does it catch anyone? It gets rid of Clock. Another crucial member of Classified is now down, but Chisakina comes alive. Gets 2 picks and now 3. With Nick comes back just in time, and Classified, they win the series in a miracle. They come back in the last second to win Coliseo.
Incredible playing there by Classified, and maybe, if I be so bold, Chisakina carry a little bit there at the end. Of course, Classified came back in with their EMP, but Chisakina able to follow up on it excellently and winning them that fight. I feel like Eternal Blue really could have pulled this out, but unfortunately they had that fight where they kept staggering, kept losing a player one at a time, and then they were never able to come back to a full 5v5 until Classified already had the checkpoint.
I feel really bad for Eternal Blue, as I have been a personal victim of that push kind of moment where, you know, you're so close to turning the map back and you just don't make it. It's honestly one of the worst feelings in Overwatch. Just in general, really, not just on push. It might be one of the worst feelings overall. So I feel for them, as they will not be continuing in this bracket anymore. They have been eliminated and they will be out of Tranquility for the season. But Classified, they're going to advance to the next round.
Eternal Blue should not in any way beat themselves up over this. I think it came really, really close, especially on this push map here. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them for how hard they tried on this and how they didn't give up on this push map. They came out with an unconventional composition, they tried their hardest, and it looked like they were really going to come back there for a second. I don't think they should be disappointed at all, but Classified should certainly be happy with this win. They played excellently, especially, I have to say, standout map was Samoa, where they had this level head. It's one of the best traits one of these competitive teams can have, is a level head. Being able to calm down, look at the fight, understand the game, and understand when you can push in and when you need to pull back. And I think that was just a little bit of a difference between Classified and Eternal Blue. And of course, that Classified can play those meta compositions. I think in another universe where Doomfist or Ball was meta, Eternal Blue would have come out on top here, but unfortunately, Sigma reigns supreme, so Classified does too.
You can run the Doom, but it's really a science that has to be really pioneered. It wasn't quite enough to overcome Classified's, you know, of course, running that standard Sigma composition, as you said, that has been so popular over these past few months, especially at the high level. And they pulled out on top, but looking at Eternal Blue, they were really good, and both teams kept a level head, and we saw the map score there. It really looked like either one team they were winning super well. If you look at the score, at least it looks like it was super one-sided, and then it was super one-sided. But if you looked at the maps, it definitely wasn't. We just saw that push map. It was back and forth, back and forth. I had no idea who was going to win at the end. But yeah, both teams should be really proud of how they did, and congratulations to Classified for advancing. But Eternal Blue, they played amazing tonight, and definitely could be a very good force in other tournaments as well as future seasons of Tranquility.
Yeah, definitely don't give up out there, Eternal Blue. Like to see you around in the sort of Masters to GM circuit. See you guys improve, get better. But for now, Classified, congratulations on your win. It was amazing to see you guys playing today. And I'm excited to see how they progress in the future of this tournament.
I want to give a quick shout out to our production team, as I usually do, because I am a producer. So I want to give a big shout out to T, Hippy, and Orange, of course, for bringing you this incredible production that we have tonight and almost every week. Well, every week. So thank you to all of them, but that's going to be all for us. So have a great rest of your night. Congratulations to Classified, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Together and it's alright. That's when you remember who you are. Over till tomorrow when we're alright. That's when we forget just who we are. Make us come together and it's alright. That's when you remember who you are. Remember who you are. Bye.